What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran. I'm going to be doing a communication reading for the Divine Masculines for, I don't know, this weekend, let's say. But it's near future anyway. But this is going to be just focusing on the communication of your Divine Masculine to find out basically when they'll be communicating, how so, what the... shit. I'm going to sneeze. Did I just avoid a sneeze? I did. I just avoided a sneeze. Wow, I'm proud of myself. Okay, but anyway, like I was saying, it's going to be more about what kind of communication is coming in, how it'll be coming in, the obstacles that are blocking it, and the outcome of the communication, okay, as well as just their general energy at this time in terms of communication, okay? So, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to start with their energy, okay? And that will tell us a little bit about the communication. So I'm going to get 4 or 5 cards on that, okay? Cool. Sound good. Alright, so, dear Spirit, what can you tell me about Divine Masculine energy at this time in regards to communication? What can you tell me about their energy? Alright. So yeah, you have the Two of Swords, and you have it in reverse, okay? Upright, Two of Swords is very much about, you have the blindfolds on, right? There is a lack of truth, a lack of clarity, being unable to see things for truly what they are. When you have the Two of Swords in reverse, it's sort of about being blind to someone's manipulation. So I can tell you, again, if they're in an energy like this, then what's immediately being blocked in terms of their energy when it comes to communication is the fact that a lot of Divine Masculines right now are unable to see the truth clearly, okay? Very much unable to break free of somebody else's manipulation, okay? It could be how they could have been told lies, okay? And they're basically feeding into somebody's BS, okay? There's that heavy element of bullshit kind of going on with the Divine Masculine's energy. They're just not, they're not able to communicate. They're in that energy right now of not seeing things clearly, right? And being really blind to somebody else's manipulation of them, like the little puppet on a puppet string or something, right? So energetically, there's something going on in their life where they feel, or where they are, I should say, just blind on really almost all aspects of their spiritual life with their twin flame. And this, of course, would be some type of karmic situation. So energetically, they could still be attached to things like that. Interestingly enough, though, the card that came after that is the Tower, okay? Now, energetically, this would speak to an influence of unpredictable events happening, things being destroyed, foundations being broke apart. This would directly relate to their inability to see the manipulation going on, because after the Tower card, we have the Temperance card, okay? And having the Tower and then the Temperance is actually very, very powerful, because it shows that something deep and profound happens, and then it leads them to a little more spiritual awareness, right? Because the energetically, the Temperance card would be about that balance, about that harmony. I know in the traditional tarot, this card would be an angel, right? But this is a dragon. But the idea is the same thing. It's sort of a balance of spirituality and emotions, and etc., etc. So, Two of Swords, Tower, Temperance, all starts with T. I don't know if that's relevant, probably not. But anyway, the idea here is that the manipulation that they're feeling energetically, that's going to come to a sudden end. Okay, I don't know how many times I can say sudden before it has meaning or it loses it, but there is going to be some shake-up in their life that causes this Tower moment. That is, all their structures are going to come crumbling down, right? So whatever castle this is, right, being blown to shit there, that is going to ultimately happen to them. Energetically, something is going to happen in their life, but it is actually going to lead them to a more balanced spiritual awareness. So keep in mind that right now, energetically, what's keeping them from communicating is ultimately the same thing that is actually going to cause them to communicate, okay? And that's almost the paradox of the twin flame relationship, and why they go through karmic situations is ultimately to wake them up. So I just feel energetically that if they're not communicating at this time, it's because, at least for this reading so far, it's this karmic situation, but that's going to end. Some truth, something's going to come shattering down, which is going to lead them to communicate. So already energetically, there's this progress of what's going to happen, what's going to happen in the near future for the Divine Masculines, which is very powerful, right? So I'm going to get a couple more cards, but already that's some powerful stuff right there. That is powerful stuff. Let's see what else I can get. What else can you tell me about their energy? All right. Yeah. It's the Queen of Cups, okay? So it happens after the Temperance card, which would indicate some type of emotional offering, being in touch with their emotions a little bit more. Okay, the Queen of Cups is an intuitive woman, someone who gives her emotions freely, knows what she wants in relationships. The gender doesn't matter, but it does have to do with an element of being able to give your emotions, which would indicate that communication, right? Because this girl, woman, whatever, is offering her cup, right? She's got it held out, and the water represents emotions, right? So she is offering her emotions. This Divine Masculine would be offering her emotions, which I feel speaks energetically to the type of communication that would be received by you guys, would be an offering, okay? Though, of course, it does take a Tower moment to get there. What else can you tell me, Spirit? Yeah, and then look at that. After that, you have the World card. There it is. Too close before. This is the World, okay? New cycles, all right? New things beginning. The World is a great card to get in any reading. Basically, it would indicate that there's this this whole thing available, right? There's this new opportunity to discover the world. It's basically, there's almost a very pithy saying about something that says like go outside or whatever, which is just talking about exploring the world, not going outside in your backyard and just staring up at the sky like a drunk. Mostly, the phrase going outside means to explore the world, and that really does. Whenever I see the World card, I always get that element of going outside, which means explore things, meet new people, join a club, go try out stripping. I don't know. Okay, the idea is new opportunities, new things beginning, whatever it might be for you. And in this energetic reading, specifically with these masculines, it does indicate a new cycle beginning for them as well, and for this relationship. Because we're talking about communication here, it is going to represent a new cycle of communication for you guys, a new part of your relationship, okay? And a lot of Divine Feminines, only able to focus on this right now, the Two of Swords in reverse, the fact that they're so blind and being manipulated and not able to see things clearly, that we often don't understand that it needs to happen so they can have this Tower moment, so things can be destroyed. You guys should try to be a little bit more compassionate towards your Divine Masculine, or at least towards yourself, which in a one perspective is the same thing. Because ultimately, they don't know any better. It'd be like blaming a 9-year-old kid for doing something that, whatever, for something that they couldn't help because they're fucking 9 years old, right? When I was 9, or around that age, I have no fucking idea. It honestly doesn't matter for the metaphor. I got a, the air conditioning units they have in Windows? Okay, well, I thought that, I was hot, it was hot in the room, right? And I wanted to open up the window to let the air in, right? But it was an AC unit, right? I could have just turned on the AC, but I was like, in my mind as a kid, I was like, well, I want the window open to let a breeze in. So I opened up the window, which was, of course, keeping the AC unit in place, and the window and the thing fell out the window and broke, and it wasn't mine. It was like a parent's friend's house, and it destroyed. It was blown up or whatever. It didn't blow up, but it wasn't that dramatic. But it did get destroyed. It was pretty expensive. I didn't pay for it, but I think I did have to help them clean their disgusting garage. But the joke's on them because I just stuffed things underneath the couch. So either way, I got away with it. But the point is, I couldn't have been blamed because I was 9. I mean, I don't know, but I don't, the idea is that with the Divine Masculines, they're not really aware of what's going on, but they are going to be, and so you need to understand that Their karmic situations are actually just there for them to awaken, and the universe is saying to you and to the relationship that this is the best way for them to understand you, the twin flame dynamic, and what true love is. And so if they are in a karmic situation, they are being manipulated, whether it's with somebody else, family members, job, whatever, etc., etc. It's ultimately teaching them an important lesson that can only be taught through this dynamic. Okay, presumably, I don't know. Sometimes I think I know more than the universe, but time and time and again, that's pretty much always wrong. So, keep that in mind, guys, alright? So that's their energy. So, try not to focus on the Two of Swords in reverse and what it looks like now in the 3D, because it is all bullshit, because they are going to have a tower moment, and it is going to lead to Temperance, the Queen of Cups, that offering in a new cycle with the world, alright? So this is near future energy, okay? And this has to do with communication. So again, something's going to happen and they're going to be like, oh shit, I'm a twin flame and I need to communicate emotions. Here you go. Finally, I get it. And then the world begins, right? It's just a matter of patience, which I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing. I'm sick of saying it to myself and to others. But sometimes it just helps to know where you are, okay? Because there's things that you guys might need to be doing that the universe wants you guys to do and to have before you come into union. And you can't ever possibly know what that is until you have it. So keep that in mind, guys. Try to relax a little bit, if you can, with the communication and the expectations that you have with it. Okay? Alright, so let's now find out more detail about the communication, right? So we're gonna find out now. I think I wrote down what else I wanted to say. So we're just gonna do look at the communication and basically what it's gonna look like, okay? So, dear Spirit, what can you tell me about the communication? Okay, first card already. It's the Two of Pentacles, so indicates juggling. It does have the two, the duality, the two dragons there. Funny that it's underneath the Two of Swords, right? But about the communication is it's being juggled right now. The idea of communication is being juggled, what to do, juggling the emotions, juggling the finances, juggling the elements of their world. So it's like right now, at this very moment in time, the communication might not be coming in because there's so much going on that they have to juggle that they couldn't possibly add another element into their life. What else can you tell me about communication from this group of Divine Masculines? Spirit. Wow, this is a great card to get. Okay? An awesome card. It's the Eight of Wands. This is the communication card. So that's pretty good to get doing a communication reading. I feel like Spirit's on my back right now. Give me a little hair toss. This would indicate, again, explosive communication, sudden communication, unexpected communication, fiery communication, passion, news reaching you, good news, events speed up, etc. It's a wand card, so it's actions taking place. This is a very, very good card to get. And again, underneath the tower, okay, energy is matching up. So, again, the two twos. Whatever they're not stable, whatever right now, so they can't communicate. But they have a tower moment, and then it's like, holy shit, sudden communication, right? So I can tell you that the communication is it's like from 2 to 8. So that's a lot, right? That's numbers right there. That's at least 6. So that is them picking up the pace. It's like it gets quick. Like the communication is nothing, and then it's sudden. Do you understand? That's the element that's going on here with the from the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands. Very, very sudden communication, which I do feel that is what the communication is going to be like. It's going to come out of nowhere. You guys can try hiding from it if you want, but it'll find you because it's meant to happen. So what else can you tell me? Yeah, more Wands energy. This is a Court card. I never got to say Court card before. It sounds so silly. Okay, so this is the King of Wands, which would speak to your Divine Masculine, if you want to see it that way. But as an energy and communication-wise, it would indicate more passion, a worldly type of energy, somebody who knows what they want, somebody who is not afraid to listen to others, somebody who's more open to the world, okay? And again, lots of passion and energy. Having this after the Eight of Wands, I do have an indication that this would be your Divine Masculine coming in with this energy. Okay. Now again, if you're a guy with a girl who you identify with the Divine Masculine, then obviously don't expect a man. Okay, that might confuse you a lot. Okay, but the genders don't matter. But the energy is that it's going to be somebody who's very passionate, very fiery, King of Wands energy, very much more open than they would have been. And again, coming out underneath the Temperance card, which is an energy of enlightenment, new awareness, okay? King of Wands, that type of energy as well, all right? And King and Queen in one reading, right? So there's that already. So what else can you tell me about this communication, dear Spirit? Keep going here. Oh, keep it going. Oh shit, that card flew so far. Oh my god, I need like a fishing pole. Get this motherfucker. Okay. It's gonna be great. It's gonna take a while. Okay. So, Four of Swords. So I can tell you that oh shit. What's English? Speaking English again. That's right. This card would indicate a type of healing in the communication. Okay. So I do get a heavy sense that this communication is going to be healing for the both of you. Remember, final healing does take place in union. At least that's what they tell me. And so that would indicate, or this would indicate right here with this Four of Swords, that whatever communication you do get is actually going to heal a lot of the stuff between you guys, any misunderstandings, any residual pain, and just things that need to be talked about in general, right? It is going to be healing for both of you. And, you know, this, again, this Queen of Cups offering something, offering healing. Offering communication would be healing in itself, even if not everything is talked about in the one conversation, but it would help the relationship, right? So let's see what else I can get. One more card. What else can you tell me? Can you not have the cards fly so far away? That'd be fucking great. Okay, here we go. Yeah, look at that, guys. He said, doing a terrible, weird accent. This is the High Priestess. Intuition, right? So this is more to me a kind of an advice, but it is the only major arcana in this particular spread. But having that in the communication, what it would look like, I do feel like you're going to have to use your intuition with this communication, okay? Now, there might be an element of not speaking the whole truth at once, or coming in with an excuse to talk to you, you know, like, oh, hey, what, you know, I left my blanket at your house, whatever, because they need some type of segue into your life, okay? And it's not that easy to just be like, oh, hey, I was wrong, by the way, I love you so much. That's not that easy, okay? That might be what you really, really want, but I don't know if it's that easy, right? Because this is still real life, okay? This isn't your favorite Hallmark movie. So, you guys do need to keep that in mind. It is going to require you to use your intuition. Also, even if they do come forward with all of this passionate energy and emotion, which I'm sure there'll be tons of cases of that happening, you are still going to need to use your intuition to decipher whether or not they actually truly mean what they say, okay? Because, remember, if they were just in a karmic situation and it suddenly ends and then they come forward and you find out that they've only ended their karmic situation, if it was particularly with another person, 2 weeks before they come forward, then that's not really a healthy amount of time, I think you would agree, to really recover and learn and understand the lessons that they have went through. Okay? You don't want to be somebody's rebound, even if the connection is real and destined to be. Okay? Because it would only ultimately end up in more pain in the long run. So I do feel like that's why the High Priestess card is there. Just giving you guys a little bit of insight into this communication is going to be sudden and explosive and healing, but you are going to have to use an element of your intuition to decipher the key messages behind it, what they might really mean, and also if they do mean what they say. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. I just felt called to say that. All right, cool. So now let's look at what the communication will basically what's going to be said. Okay, we'll look more into detail about that. All right, so. What can you tell me, dear Spirit, about the communication? What kind of communication will it be? What kind of communication will it be? So, another Queen card. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. This would have an aspect, an element of the 3D to it. Again, having right underneath the Two of Pentacles. So I do feel like this communication is going to be about something to do with finances. Maybe they weren't with you because they didn't have enough money or they didn't feel secure enough. Maybe they thought of you in that way. Or just quite possibly it has to literally do with things that they want and need. Okay? So they might be talking to you a lot about the things that they want in this life, on the earth, I mean. Okay? And the type of material possessions. Okay? The Queen of Pentacles is an independent type of energy, somebody that's their own resources, somebody that makes their own type of money, let's say, gets things for themselves, okay, completely independent, not codependent on anything. So I do feel like there might be a lot of discussion about the codependence. And so they're going to be talking to you, and this could be you, the Queen of Pentacles, okay? But I do feel like there's this element, there is going to be some type of talk about finances and reasons why they might have been with the karmic, or etc. A lot of it has to do with finances, okay? It's very rarely ever because, the sex is that good, okay? Not in the twin flame connection anyway. So let's keep going. What else can you tell me, Spirit? About the fucking cards that keep flying. God damn. I'm gonna have to have a chat with Spirit later. Alright, this is the Four of Cups. Four of Cups, I've said many times, is about ignoring your emotions. So they are going to be talking about the fact that they did ignore the connection, that they did ignore your feelings. There is going to be that definitely heavy element of that going on. Okay? Because they do want to talk about that for sure. They do want to talk about why they have ignored you, and how they shut off their own emotions towards you, and why and how they went about doing that. Okay. And then look at this. You have the Ace of Wands coming out underneath the King of Wands, and again, look, the Four of Cups is coming out underneath the Eight of Wands. So it's like this communication is going to be about like the opposite of the Four of Wands. It's going to be about how they do love you because they want to talk about how they did ignore the emotions for you, right? And then you have more wand energy, which is, again, a phallic symbol representing sex, about getting laid. I almost said something way worse than that. Oh, my goodness. Okay, anyway, so it is Ace of Wands, okay? So new beginnings, though, but it is that passionate sexual energy. Definitely new enterprises and partnerships, creative projects going well, of course, has that meaning to it as well. Simply as a talking point, I do just feel like this has an element of sex a lot. Just in this particular question that I'm asking, I feel like they're also going to be talking about the passion that you guys have, okay? Which could involve sex, but I also feel like there's going to be some sexual stuff going on. Not just sex, obviously. The connection is more than that, but maybe if you haven't been with your twin in the physical in a long time or ever, there's going to be that element added into it. Whatever the case may be, there's going to be more passion, okay? This can be many different things. But ultimately, it is going to be more fulfilling, okay? On the deeper levels, right? Let's get one more card. What else can you tell me about this communication? What else can you tell me about what kind of communication they're going to be talking about? Yeah. There we go. It's a good card to get, I guess. Maybe not. This is the Judgment card. This is decisions about the past. So they are going to be talking about the decisions that they've made and the things that they've done. And they are going to be coming forward and basically bringing you the ultimate type of judgment, really putting all their cards on the table type of thing, right? To really decipher who was right and who was wrong, and if you guys can live with it. Okay, because this woman, she can live with it. She can live with everything that's going on behind her because she didn't do anything. Okay? Presumably, she's just been playing her fucking harp the entire time. Okay, she didn't have time to be doing anything else. So, with your own divine masculine, they'll be coming into you, basically telling you, all these decisions that they made. Basically, this whole process of communication would be a decision, right? And ultimately, having the Judgment card as this last card here would kind of indicate that they really are, let's say, that they're going to be coming in and leaving it up to you. Okay, and that's the energy that you want to be in. You don't want to communicate. If you've tried communicating and it never works, you do want them to come back to you. That way, it's your decision. Okay, whatever they made the decision to come back, that's their huge epiphany and their huge step, and it would be your huge step in order to let them back in. Okay, and accept the relationship fully. Okay, but it is a general reading, of course, so it might not be specifically that accurate for everybody. All right, so let's just find out. I was going to do what's keeping them from coming in, but I already know that the Two of Swords answers that, so I'm not going to ask it. I already understand that completely. So I'm just going to do the outcome between you guys, okay? Just like 3 cards. All right, so what's the outcome between this divine couple after communication or during communication? Oh, look at this, more wand energy. Someone's trying to get a message across here. 2 of Wands. Two of Wands is action, or more about planning and adventure than action and adventure. But it is planning for action, okay? And a two, another two, right? Damn, two, two. Well, there's another two. I moved the other one up. But that's 3 twos, okay? So that's an angel number right there, guys. 222. I think that's about balance. You'd have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure it is. I do see it a lot myself. So I'm throwing that out there for you guys. But yeah, the Two of Wands is definitely about preparing, partnership, because that two. But you guys are going to be planning trips together. And also this silly little dragon here is making an offer, isn't he? He's holding up that globe for you to see with his cheeky ass little grin. So keep that in mind, all right? That's also an intuitive message. What else we got going on here? Oh, yeah, look at that. This is the Empress card, which would indicate divine feminine energy. Okay, the Empress is that creative, nurturing energy. The person who's the creative, the writer, the poet, the person with the movie, the films, the creative person with the entrepreneurial ideas, the mother, that type of energy, the nurturer, okay? The one who takes care of other people, the one who gives more than she receives, okay? This is the Empress. This is the divine feminine. So this Two of Wands is in direct relation to the divine feminine. So the outcome is already making plans with the divine feminine. Now, they could be making plans without you knowing about you right now, but also it does have that element of that they will be, that you guys will be, taking trips together, etc., traveling. There'll be a new start for the both of you guys. I think I just got the Devil card. I'll see, though. I'll see how it comes up. It did come up in reverse, though, okay? So that's better than the other way. Reverse means that the chains aren't really that bad, that they're not, whatever restrictions, limitations, and blockages that you felt were in the relationship, the codependency, so to speak, is actually not as bad as it seems. Having the Devil in reverse always indicates that the codependency that might have been there is not going to be there anymore, okay? It's actually lessened to the point where now it's a more healthy version of it. It's like you still get to keep the fun sex and all those crazy, great shit, with safety words, whatever. But then you get rid of the codependency, which is good. So what else can you tell me about the outcome? So we'll get, I don't know, 1 or 2 more cards, I guess. More wand energy, okay? This is the Ten of Wands. I know that we're just speaking about chains, right? This dragon's chained, not having a good time, but the Ten of Wands actually just indicates more work and more responsibility. And I don't see this as negative at all. I feel like because you guys are going to be together, remember, communication wouldn't be the final problem of the relationship. It wouldn't just be like, that's it. You guys communicated, and now we understand. Every single relationship, regardless of how powerful the connection is, would attract or have some type of karmic problems or whatever kind of problems. You don't even have to consider them karmic. But my point is that relationships aren't perfect. There is compromise, okay? And so on one hand, you might be incredibly happy, right, to be in this relationship with your divine other, but remember that being in a relationship means many things that you could perceive, that you could be taking for granted right now, okay? Now, personally, I love being alone. And I mean that, like, not in a sad, popping Xanax way, more in I like my own space, okay? Like, if it was up to me, I think preferably I would enjoy, like, having my own bed. Like, I don't like sleeping next to other people. Like, I literally love having my own space, okay? Like, I just love it. And if I was in a relationship, eventually I would have to give that up, okay? You move in with people, whatever, etc., okay? So that's what I really feel from this Ten of Wands, is that there's just going to be more responsibilities and more work, okay? I've never been a fan of meeting, let's say, new people. I'm an empath, and a lot of people that I've met in my life suck. So, suck my energy. Right. They also suck, though, but the idea is that I don't like giving my energy away too much to people that really don't deserve it. But I would have to meet, let's say, twin flames' parents, etc., etc. Things that I don't actually like doing. I would have to do. That's compromise. That's a relationship right there, okay? I've done it before. It just eventually has to happen, right? And there are people that you never see again for the rest of your life. Not for the twin flame, but past partners or whatever. But the idea here, guys, is that any relationship has more work. So that's basically what it's saying. So the outcome is that, it's a real relationship. And then look, after that you have the Ten of Cups. 2 tens. That makes it 20. Completion. Again, I've been saying this for a long time, but look to October, guys, for some sort of a communication. Because 2020 is a year of union. 10 plus 10 is 20. So, I don't know. I'll look at that. And the energy, I honestly did not pull those cards, so don't take it for this reading, but I just happened to look at the bottom card of the deck, and it was the Ten of Pentacles, which is about marriage and family. And that's 3 tens. 10, 10, 10. Even 1010 itself is an angel number, but that's completion. So that's October, October, October. Okay, so and the Ten of Pentacles is, of course, material wealth as well. But the Ten of Cups is emotional wealth, having all of your cups filled, joy, contentment, happy family. Okay, so the outcome for you guys is definitely this adventurous period. It is going to require more work. The chains aren't really that, chainy. Ugh, yikes, can't believe I said that. The chains aren't really as, the chains aren't really there, let's say, okay? The chains that might have perceived to have been there really are actually quite loose, and, the codependency, actually, you can actually do away with it, okay? Like, you don't need them as much anymore, okay? And you might be feeling like that already, or getting into that energy as we go along the rest of August, right? And that ultimately is going to lead to a little bit more responsibilities, but it's going to pay off because you have the Ten of Cups, okay? And then you did actually have the Ten of Pentacles as well. I didn't pull it, but it is there, and it's worth mentioning, okay? So definitely I feel like communication is incoming to you guys, but they're in that Two of Swords energy, so you just have to let them work out their karma, and you, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, have to deal with your own emotions and your own pain and transmute everything that you can to use it for your own growth, and focus on yourself at this time, because that is how you actually attract them back into your life, okay? Because letting them go is hard, because we think that by letting them go, we actually are, like, we're not going to get them back. Like, as in giving up control, letting that person go, we won't get them, right? But that's an idea of lack, a subconscious type of idea that's been ingrained into us, but you actually can let them go because you can trust the universe, because that's the whole point, right? You're awakened, so the idea is that you have this new insight into the world, so you may as well just exercise it correctly. Because once you let them go, they'll come back. But once you stop yourself from letting go, or you keep grabbing onto them, that makes it harder for them energetically to ever come back, because you'll be sending mixed signals to the universe, right? And you can't be doing that. I do it all the time. But people always tell me, don't send mixed signals. I'll tell it back to you guys, all right? Make sure you're very clear. You should trust that the universe will give them back to you, because that's the whole point. You guys are destined to be together. So even if it seems right now that you guys aren't going to be, that's just something you have to accept, right? At this very moment, you guys are not together. You have to just accept that information. It doesn't mean that they're never going to come back. Again, if you knew your twin flame was going to be back in February 2020, and that was when union, and you guys were just fucking happy for the rest of your life, and you guys get married and everything that you wanted, and they never fucked off, and you guys just had a normal type of stable relationship, what would you be doing between now and then? You wouldn't be waiting around. You do have to let them go, okay? And that is that's just a message I really wanted to share, because every card reading that I do and that I see, they are coming back. Communication is going to be coming, but it really depends on you, honestly, and how much you want to let go and how much you want to work on yourself, okay? Because I just feel it's very important to let go of your twin flame completely in order to get them back. Okay, but that's my personal opinion. You guys obviously always have to do what you feel is best. But that's the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. And I will talk to you guys when I feel like it, I guess, right? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a good day. Bye.